Good evening, everyone. I hope I am audible to all of you. Right. First of all, thank you very much for joining me at this time in this tutorial. So I am here with a sample paper which is based on your first term syllabus. Right. So the first term syllabus of grade 9 CBSE and grade 10 CBSE is pretty much the same. Okay, in grade for grade 9 also, there are first 3 units of employability skills which are going to come in their term 1, and for from part B, which is based on subject specific skills, we are going to have 2 units from there. So it's introduction to artificial intelligence and AI project cycle. Right, so in total there are 5 units which grade 9 students have to prepare. So these are the first 3 units, and these are the 2 units from subject specific skills you guys have to prepare. Similarly, grade 10 students also have to prepare 5 units for their term 1 exam. So unit 1 is based on communication skills, and unit 2 is self management skills, and unit 3 is ICT skills, which is similar to that of grade 9, right? And in subject specific skills, you have these 2 chapters: Introduction to Artificial Intelligence in AI Project Cycle. So basically, 10 students have the same syllabus. So whatever sample papers I will be showing to grade 10 students, grade 9 students can also enjoy them. They, you guys, I hope you know very well about the pattern in which you are going to get the paper. So from Okay, I don't have that pattern over here. No problem. Let's come back. Let's come on this sample paper, and I would like to enlarge the size of this sample paper so that the questions can be more clearly visible to all of you. Right? Can I have a confirmation if my voice is clear and everything is fine, so that I can go ahead and explain you everything which is given in this sample paper? Okay, namaste dear, namaste Vaibhav. I hope, okay, if you want to learn AI, definitely you can, a product, and there are 2 different groups. The first group is from America, and the second one is from Israel. Right? There's a America has its own language, Israel has its own language. So definitely it's, I think from the question itself, from the first line itself, it is very clear that the correct answer of this is linguistic barrier, but no problem. Let me just read this whole question for you. In the middle of the discussion, one Israeli manager said that the R&D staff in Israel, R&D stands for research and development, by the way. So this staff in Israel don't care about some of the changes, right? An American manager, although usually polite, couldn't restrain himself when he heard that statement. What's that supposed to mean? They don't care. He thundered. Right. So maybe possible that there was a language gap, a communication gap, but why this communication gap was there? It's just because of language difference, right? So the correct answer of this one is linguistic barrier. Organization barrier is it's not the correct one. Interpersonal barrier, no. Cultural barrier, no. Correct answer is linguistic barrier. Let's come on the second question. So it says identify the object, verb, and subject in the sentence. So the sentence given to us over here is the car crashed into a tree. So it's very obvious, over here we have 3 things in the sentence: car, crashed, and tree. Now you guys tell me what is the correct answer. What is the correct option out of these 4 given to us over here? Okay, so okay, let me just help you with the correct answer. So the correct answer of this one is A. You know why? Because tree over here in the sentence is an object, Crashed is a verb, and this car, the car is the subject in this sentence, right? So A is the correct option. Let's come down on this third question. There was a young boy who was fond of playing football and wanted to become a football player. Okay. He joined a football academy and came regularly to practice, but never made it to the team. For 4 days, the boy didn't show up for practice. The matches had begun and his team was playing the finals. He showed up for the finals. Okay. He went up to the coach and pleaded him to let him play for the match. So he requested the coach to let him play the match. The coach had never seen the boy plead like this before. The game started and the boy played like a ball on fire. So he played extremely well, and every time he got the ball, he shot a goal. So right now, from this paragraph, it's very clear that the this boy is not playing for winning the match. He's playing just because he loved to play football. That is the reason motivation. But internally, if you are motivated, you don't bother. You do prizes doesn't matters to you. The only thing which matters to you is pride, is love for that thing which you want to do. So here he want to play football because he loves to play it, right? So the correct answer of this third one is internal. He is internally motivated, right? That is what is asked over here in this last statement. What type of motivation did the boy demonstrate? So he demonstrates an internal motivation. Let's come on this fourth question. Statement one is a realistic goal is one that has no timeline or plans for execution. Okay. And then what is this statement two saying? Breaking down big goals into smaller parts will make the goal achievable. Right. So a realistic goal is one that has no timeline or plans for execution. Is it right? Is it right? I think it's not a correct statement. Okay, but this one is true. Breaking down big goals into smaller parts will make the goal achievable. Yeah, it is true. So if we have to achieve big goals, what we do, we classify the things. We classify it into different parts, and then we start achieving small goals in order to achieve the bigger one. So for this fourth one, you have to take this D part. Question number 5 is, here are the steps that take place when starting a computer. Okay, so there are some steps given to us and we have to rearrange the steps in the correct order. So what is the first thing we do to start a computer? That is what we'll have to first find out. So I think we first power on the self test, right? We power on self test. We turn on the computer and it boots. So third one is the first step that we do. After this, once the computer is on, what happens next? Let me just find out. Operating system starts, right? That's the second thing which happens. Okay, so after third, the next step which takes which we need which the next thing that which takes place is odds. After this, welcome screen appears, right? We see a welcome screen, and after this, login screen appears. We see the login screen, and finally, desktop appears after login. So the correct order is 3, 4, 5, second, and first. So I think option C is the correct one. Yeah, option C is correct. Then comes this question number 6, which says which one of the following is an example of operating system. So Microsoft Word is an application software. You guys know it very well. Microsoft Excel is also an application software. Microsoft Access is also a type of application software, but Microsoft Windows is a type of operating system. So the correct answer of question number 6 is B part. Then we have this section B. So here we are given with 20 different questions. Out of we have to attempt 15, right? And each question carry 1 mark. What's this seventh question? Which of the following is correct about? So the first one is the rule-based approach, and the second one is the learning-based approach, right? In rule-based approach, what happens? We have some data with us and we have some rules with us. Now, what are these rules? You must have used if control statements in your programming. We use if statements in in programming for checking out different kind of conditions. Those if statements, those conditions which we check using if, so those are rules. So what happens in rule-based approach? We have some predefined rules. We have the data which we acquire from the data acquisition stage, and after that we combine them together and put it into the machine for training it. Right. Unlike rule-based approach, in uh, learning-based approach, what happens? We have the data with us, but we do not have the rules. We simply put the data into the machine, and then machine analyze the data and gives us the output in the form of rules. That's what happens in learning based approach. So that's the basic difference between rule based approach and learning based approach. Now the question here says which of the following is correct about rule based approach. We cannot provide enough rules to the machine, so this is not true, right? See, the more rules you will provide, the more data you will provide to the machine, the more it will be able to give you the correct output, right? B part is a drawback or feature for this approach is that learning is static. That is absolutely right. Why it is right? Because in rule based, if suppose you are training a machine using rule based approach, you have created a machine using rule based approach. So after creating that machine, if you will put it into an environment where it comes across something, a situation or some data which it doesn't have any information in its database, right? You have fed some data to the machine. Now it came across some data about which it doesn't have any information in its database. So what will happen? It will not be able to analyze that data, right? It will not be able to, it cannot learn by its own experience. From its own experience, it cannot learn. However, unlike rule based training model, learning based training model is capable of learning from its own experience, from some new data also, right? So for seventh, B option is correct. Okay, let's come on this eighth question. So it says choose the 5 stages of AI project cycle in correct order. So it's very simple. The first stage that comes is problem scoping. We scope the problem. After that, we do data acquisition. In data acquisition, what happens? We, after scoping the problem, we try to figure out the different parameters, which are also known as data features, on which the problem statements depends directly or indirectly. After that, we create a system map in order to understand the relationship between different data features, right? And finally, we start acquiring using various techniques like web scraping, cameras, etc., etc. About the different data features we have acquired in the data acquisition stage, and that whole information then goes in the third stage, which is your data exploration stage, in which we explore the data using some data visualization tools like graphs and charts. So after exploration of data comes the modeling, in which we design algorithms using rule-based and learning-based approaches. And finally, we evaluate the performance of our model. So the correct option for this one is, I think, D, problem scoping, data acquisition, data exploration, modeling, and evaluation. So D is the correct answer for this one. Okay. Let's come back over here. Question number 9 is unscramble the letters and find the name of the first humanoid robot. So I hope you guys, I think you know it very well. It's Sophia, the first humanoid robot with a citizenship. So this B part is the correct answer for this question number 9. Question number 10 is when a machine possesses the ability to mimic the following human traits. It is said to have an artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Basically, it's a combination of machine learning and human intelligence. So, if you are training a machine in such a way that it can, mimic human behavior, so it means that you are making an artificially intelligent product. Identify the positive traits that an AI machine should possess. So, what all things an AI machine should possess? It should be able to make decisions. This is correct. It should not be biased. It's not like that it should speak only in female voice. It can have male voice also, right? It's not like if you are putting it on the internet and for some resume selection process, so it is selecting only the resumes of male candidates and it is rejecting all the female candidates. It should also not happen. If it is happening, it means that the AI machine you have developed is biased, right? So AI machine should not be biased. So first is correct. It should be able to predict the outcomes. Third one is correct. Fourth one is learn and improve on its own. Yes, this one is also correct. It should learn and it should improve on its own. So first, third, and fourth reconnected to the internet successfully. Okay. So neural networks are the backbone of deep learning algorithms. I think it is correct. Yes, neural network is basically the way we have neurons, our brain, which is full of neurons, which helps us in transferring signals to different parts of the body, which helps the brain in getting the signals, in reading the signals which comes from different part of the body and goes to the brain. So that is neural network. Now artificial neural network also can be made, and the process of the stage where it happens is deep learning stage, right? So in deep learning, we create an artificial neural network using various types of deep learning algorithms. Check. Okay, connected back successfully. Is it going fine? Just give me a short moment, checking whether everything is going fine on YouTube or not. Yeah, now it is, I think, perfectly fine. See, classification, clustering are one and the same thing, because in classification also we classify the things in two or more different categories. In clustering, what happens, we analyze, the machine analyzes the things and it then put them into different clusters, right? But in classification, the data is always labeled. Clustering we use with unlabeled data. Here the labels are already given to us: safe, at risk, and unsafe. So it means that the correct answer for this question number 12 is classification. Right. Okay, let's come on this question number 13. Dash helps us to summarize all the key points into one single outline, so that in future, whenever there is a need to look back at the basis of the problem, we can take a look at it and understand the key elements of it. So what is the correct answer to this one? Can anyone tell me? It is not 4W problem canvas. It is problem statement template. There's a difference between these two things. I hope you guys know about it. If you don't know, let me just help you with this. 4W problem canvas refers to four parameters: who, what, why, and where. So if you have a problem statement with you and you want to mention for the who parameter, of all the stakeholders or people who are getting affected by the problem. So those names will come in the category of who. Then comes what. What is the problem? Right? How can you say the problem you have scoped in the data acquisition stage is actually a problem? So to connect back, okay, connected successfully. So, but for the other things, which are given to us in this paragraph over here, musical doesn't seem to be a good choice. So what can be the correct answer? The only thing which we are left with is kinesthetic. Kinesthetic refers to the limbs movement, how a person use his limbs, how intelligently a person use his limbs. So it that thing comes under the category of kinesthetic. So kinesthetic is the correct answer for this question, because he's doing here, he likes to move constantly at his desk, he plays. Hold on, just bear with me for some time. Yeah, connected back successfully. So I was telling you about this question number 16. Unscramble the letters and find the correct answer. You know, you need something with which you can analyze the data you have. And what is that thing? It is algorithm, right? If you will unscramble these letters over here, it will give you algorithm. So the correct option of the 16th one is this B part. Right. Then we have this question number 17. Infrared sensors detect infrared energy that is emitted by one's body heat. When hands are placed in the proximity of the sensor, the infrared energy quickly fluctuates. This fluctuation triggers the pump to activate and dispense the designated amount of sanitizer. So it's talking about, hand sanitizers, automatic hand sanitizers, in which we have sensors installed, which you can find in, airports, washrooms, etc. This is an example of, so it's an example of an automated machine or an AI machine or a semi-automatic machine or a deep learning machine. Yes. What is the correct answer? It's not an AI machine here. Why? Because it needs yeah, it requires a human intervention. The this you know this sensor, if you want the sensor to work for you, it needs a human intervention. So anything which needs human intervention is not cannot be put into the category of AI machine. It's not an AI machine, it's not a semi-automatic machine, neither it's a part of deep learning machine. So it's an automated machine, right? You can find it in your PDF also. Great 10 students, just check it out. I'm talking about the facilitators handbook CBSE has released. So over there also you'll find this question. Match column A with column B. So there are some options given to us over here in column A, and we have some options in column B. We have to find out which of these four are a part of AI and which are not AI. Okay, so I think face recognition machine is AI. So one can be matched to the second part of column B. Automatic door is an AI or not? It's not an AI. So gesture recognition, is it an AI or not? No. Okay. Gesture recognition. Yes, we use it in Facebook, right? So yes, it's an AI. An automatic toy car, it's not an AI. So face. So it is the series goes like this: second, first, second, first, second, first, second, first. So B part is the correct answer of this question number 18. Question number 19 is, anyone can kick an artificially intelligent machine? No, it's not true. And they have no pain receptors. Yeah, that is true, right? They don't have any pain receptors. They cannot feel pain or sorrow or, feelings like this. So reason is correct, assertion is not correct. So D part is the correct option for this question number 19. Question number 20 is, if data is represented as answer. Okay, for this I'll have to use this notepad. It says data is represented as answer. Okay, then processing is represented as data. Processing is represented as data, and answer is represented as processing. Data is represented as answer, processing is represented as data, and answer is represented as processing. Which of the following can be related to the description of layers in a neural network? Okay, okay, so it's based on neural network. Now let's check out what can be the correct answer of this. So input layer is equal to data. No, input layer cannot be equal to data, so it's not correct. Right, and because data is related to answer, and then answer is related to processing, and processing is related to data again. Okay, so input layer cannot be data, and then because if it is equal to data, then input layer is equal to processing. Can it be equal to can we put processing in input layer? No, we cannot. Always in neural network, what happens, we put answers, right? So either C is correct or D is correct, right? Let's go with C and check whether this is correct or not. So if we have answers in input layer, then output layer is going to be processing, right? Because here answers is giving us processing. So output layer is processing, and the only thing which we are left with is data. So it is going to be the hidden layer. Let's check out this D part, whether it is correct or not. So input layer is answer, as I've already told you. And then answer, the output layer should be equal to processing. But here the output layer is equal to data. It's giving us data. So this is not correct. The correct answer of question number 20 is part C. Question number 21 is which of the following is incorrect? So we have testing data, and there are two kinds of data. I hope you know about it: training data and testing data. So after acquiring the data in data acquisition stage, when we explore the data in data exploration stage, after checking the data, checking the whole data that we acquire, we divide the data into two different parts. First one is the testing data, and the second one is the training data. Now with the help of training data, we train the machine, right? In modeling stage, which comes just after data exploration, we use different techniques, right, for training the machine. And for that, we use the data, we use the training data. And then there is this testing data, which we use for evaluating the performance of the machine. Now here it says testing data is the one in which we train and fit our model basically to fit the parameters. Okay, and then training data is used only to assess performance of a model. This is not correct, because we use testing data, right, for assessing the performance of model. Testing data is the unseen data for which predictions have to be made. Okay, okay. Testing data. So what we have to do, we have to find out which one is incorrect. Testing data is the unseen data for which predictions have to be made. See, this seems to be correct. You know why? Because if you are designing an artificially intelligent machine which can help you in predicting the atmospheric conditions, future atmospheric conditions. So the data that which you will acquire is going to be the data of the past, right? Okay, now once you will put the data, you cannot then bifurcate it into two different parts, testing data or training data. You'll have to take the whole data as a training data, and then you have to put it into the machine. And after once you get the machine trained, you can put it into the environment. It will then predict for you the atmospheric conditions, and then you can match it with the actual conditions, with the actual atmospheric conditions, to test the performance of the machine. So this third one is correct, but first and second are not. So I think B part, yes. For question number 21, this B part needs to be tick mark. This is the correct option. Question number 22 is unscramble the letters and find the parameter that is not used in evaluation parameters. So I'm going to tell you the answer directly. You have to check your CBSC's facilitators handbook and tell me why I'm saying that option A is correct answer of this question number 22. Right, just check your CBSC's facilitators handbook, you will come to know about it. So over there you'll find a diagram in which you will see all the stages of evaluation, all the parts of evaluation stage. So from there you can find out the answer of this question, but for your convenience, let me just help you with the answer. So it's part A, correct answer of this question number 22. Question number 23 is there are assertion and reason given to us. Assertion is we can use histograms when data is in categories. So if you have categories like this, so you can use histograms, which is not true, right? We don't use histograms if we have, some categories given to us. So it's not true, of course. And reason is we use bar charts when we have continuous data such as person's height or weight. This is also not at all true. So 23rd correct answer is both A and R are false. So D part is the correct option. Question number 24 is which of the following is true about neural networks? So let's check out the options. To neural network tend to perform better with larger amount of data. This is absolutely correct. The more amount of data you will feed to the machine, the more better it will give you the output. Right, the more accurate result it will give you. Neural networks tend to perform poorer and larger with larger amount of data. This is not correct. Then neural network tend to perform better with a smaller amount of data. This is also not correct. Neural network need no data. That is absolutely false. So the correct answer of question number 24 is option A. 25 says choose the correct option. So we have to select the correct option. Unsupervised learning, labeled dataset, regression. In unsupervised learning method, we use unlabeled dataset. If you know about it, if you don't know, then let me just tell you this is not the correct answer. In supervised learning, we use labeled datasets. So this part is correct. What about regression? Do we use it in supervised learning or not? Yes, yes, we use regression in supervised learning. This is absolutely correct. Let's check out the remaining two parts. Unsupervised learning, unlabeled data. This is correct for unsupervised learning, but we don't do classification in unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, we use clustering, right? Regression and classification are the part of supervised learning because we use labeled data for these two things. Supervised learning is related to unlabeled data. No, this is absolutely incorrect. So the correct answer of question number 25 is part B. 26 is Google Translate is Google's free service that instantly translates words, phrases, and web pages between English and over 100 other languages. Google Translate uses. So which technique Google Translate use for doing this thing? How is it able to translate words and phrases between English and over other 100 other languages? So 4W problem canvas is of course not the correct answer. Neural network can be a correct option, but here this word translation is given. Where based on this, if you'll ask me whether it's a correct option or not, so I will say no, it's not correct. System maps is used for representing the relationships which the data features we acquire in data acquisition stage shares with each other. So this is of course not the correct answer. The only thing which we are left with is KWLH chart. Now what is this KWLH chart? You will have to find it out yourself, but because it's a chart, so it is also not a correct option, right? Just find out the full form of KWLH. Okay, it is there given in your facilitator's handbook. So all four are incorrect, but we have to tick mark one option out of these four. So when you're attempting the MCQs, if you are not able to find the correct option, or if you came across a question for which the options which are given to you in the paper, uh, you find all the options correct. Now with which option you should go for? You should go for the option which is most which is related to the given question most, or which is more relevant to the given question. So here, out of these four, only neural network is the one which is relevant, which I'm finding relevant to this question. So I will tick mark part B. So for me, part B is correct, right? You can also tick mark B because this is the correct answer. Let's come on this section C, which is based on competency based question. And again, you are given with 7 questions, out of which you have to do only 5, right? These are some case-based studies questions given to us over here in this section C. Let's check out the first question. So it says, assume that you are working at My Flight, okay, which is a major airlines company, that you have noticed that the way passengers board your planes is an inefficient use of time and resources. Okay. On an average, the current boarding system wastes about 4 minutes per boarding. Fine, this weighs about 35,000 rupees per day across all flights. The boarding protocols make the company less competitive and thus brand image. Using a modified boarding, passenger can board the plane from the sides rather than from the back to the front. This will eliminate 4 minutes of waste. Taking this as the problem, choose which of the following would be the ideal problem statement template. Now we have to select the ideal problem template for the problem given to us here. Out of these four, we have to select any one. Let's go through these 4 problem templates one by one and try to figure out the correct answer for this question number 27. Right, so the first one is, our passengers have a problem that it takes more time when one has to board the plane. An ideal solution would be to use different airlines. No, that's not a correct answer, because in this way, this airline will face a lot of financial problems, right? Our passengers have a problem that the current boarding system wastes time while waiting in the airport. An ideal solution would be to board the plane before the airline crew gets into the plane. No, it's not the correct answer, of course. Our airlines have a problem that the current boarding system wastes 4 minutes of time when passengers aboard the plane. Absolutely right. So when they aboard the plane, 4 minutes gets wasted. An ideal solution would be to board the plane from the sides rather than from the back to the front. That is what being said to us here also in this line. So I think this can be the correct answer for this question. Let's read this fourth option also. Our airlines have a problem that it takes more time when passengers have to board the plane. An ideal solution would be to sell the airlines. No. So the correct answer is part C, right? Question number 28 is, understand and inspect the web page to find the HTML markers associated with the information we want. Okay. Use Python libraries to pull out data from the HTML page. Manipulate the collected data to get it in the form we need. The above given steps are for collecting data, absolutely right. From which of the following data sources? So there are, these 4 sources with the help of which we can, from where we can collect the data, and we generally use this collection of data technique in data acquisition stage, right? Now, what is happening here? Which technique are we using? Are we collecting the data from cameras? No, nowhere the cameras is not mentioned anywhere in this question. Sensors, no, we are not making use of sensors. Surveys, HTML page, right? We are making use of HTML pages. So there is a library called Beautiful Soup. with the help of which you can extract information from HTML pages. HTML pages basically here refers to the web pages. So what we are doing here, we are collecting the data from the internet. What is the process? What is the name of the what we call that process in which we collect the data from the internet? It is web scraping. So from this question itself, it is clear that the correct answer is web scraping. You can mark it. Question number 29 is a leading multinational company operates on a chain of hypermarkets and grocery stores deployed an AI application to make it easier for employees to keep their stores running smoothly. They use thousands of video cameras, weight sensors on shelves, and other technologies that can tell employees when certain products is starting to go bad. Okay, so the AI machines can tell the owners when the products will go bad. Definitely the employees will come to know about it. Now one of the tasks of the application is to identify bananas that had started to turn brown. Okay, eliminating the need for employees to manually inspect fruit. Which of the following domains is used to achieve this? Okay, so as you guys know very well, artificial intelligence, as per the syllabus of grade 9 and grade 10, artificial intelligence can be categorized into three different categories based on the type of the data, right? So there is data science, there is this NLP thing, and then we have computer vision. So data science tools are used when the data is given to us in the form of numbers or integers, right? So if you have data in the form of images, then you will use computer vision. And if you want to process data you have in the form of speech videos, so you will use natural language processing techniques, right? So these are the three things. Fuzzy logic is also a domain of AI, and we generally use it when we have to make some decisions, when we have to create an artificially intelligent machine which can make for us, which can help us in taking correct decisions. So for that we use fuzzy logic, right? So what should be the correct answer of question number 29 according to you? Yes. So what is the problem here? What is being said here in this question? That there is an AI machine which is going to help the employees in identifying the bananas that had started to turn brown. Now, how the machine will be able to identify whether the bananas have started, whether a particular banana is brown or not? So definitely it will have to see the banana first. It needs some vision. It needs computer vision, right? So the correct answer of this one is computer vision. An AI system uses two broad classes of data, namely content data, which includes raw video streams, title, description, etc. User activity data that includes rating a video, favoriting, linking a video, or subscribing to an uploader watch time. Based on this, the AI system measures a user's engagement and happiness. Okay, it then starts computing personalized recommendations to the user. Which of the following applications can you relate to this? So is it related to self-driving car? Of course not. It's not related to self-driving cars. Is it related to Siri? No, it's not. Is it related to email filters? No. Yes, it's related to YouTube. So it's a very simple question, right? You can answer it very easily. You can find the answer of this very easily. It's YouTube. Question number 31 is data about the houses such as square footage, number of rooms, features, whether a room has a garden or not, and the price of these houses. The corresponding labels are fed to an AI machine. By leveraging data coming from thousands of houses, their features and prices, we can now train the model to predict a new house's price. This is an example of what? Reinforced learning, supervised, unsupervised, or none of the above. You tell me what is the correct answer of this. Of course, you're right. The correct answer of this one is supervised learning. Why? Because all the data which is coming is a labeled data, number of rooms, square footage, features, house has a garden or not. Everything is labeled. So it's a supervised learning which is going to take place here. Then question number 32 is a scenario is given to you below. Read it and answer the following question. Okay, late one night, a car ran over a pedestrian in a narrow by street and drove away without stopping. A policeman who saw the vehicle leave the scene of the accident reported it moving at very high speed. The accident itself was witnessed by six bystanders. They provided the following conflicting accounts of what that happened. So this is all what happened at that time when there was a car which was going with a fast speed on a lane, and the policeman noticed that car. So he gave us this information. It was a Toyota, and its headlights were turned off. It was a gray Audi. It was a red car driven by a woman. The car was moving at high speed and its headlights were turned off. The car did have license plates. It wasn't going very fast. The car didn't have license plates. The driver was a man. When the car and its driver were finally apprehended, it turned out that only one of the six eyewitnesses, have a fully correct description. Okay, there are six different eyewitnesses who describe the scenarios in these six different ways. Each of the other five provided one true and one false piece of information. Now, keeping that in mind, you can determine the following. Okay, so let me just help you with the correct answer. Now, I would like to just request you to just try it out yourself. Okay, so the correct answer of this one is C. This is the correct answer. Now, why it's a correct answer, you have to figure it out. Question number 33 is Amazon had been working on a secret AI recruiting tool. The machine learning specialists uncovered a big problem. Their new recruiting agent did not like women. Okay, the system taught itself that male candidates were preferable. I think we have already discussed it when I was telling you about bias earlier in this tutorial. So at that time we discussed this same problem which is given to us over here. So the correct answer of this one is AI bias. So we are done with solving this sample paper. If you have any issues, you're most welcome to let me know about the same. I Aryanshu World. Hi Aryanshu, nice name. Okay, so this is it from my side. I'll come with a new sample paper in the next lecture, which I'm going to take very soon on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned. Please do share the video which I shooted today with you guys in your groups so that more and more students can come and join my channel and learn artificial intelligence. I am going to also teach you artificial intelligence practically, how you can experience these artificial intelligence related things practically. That is also I'm going to explain you guys on my channel. So we'll be using Python coding, simple Python codes for understanding the various things that happens in the that are related to the domains of AI, like what happens in natural language processing, what happens in data science, what happens exactly in computer vision, how a computer processes image-based data or speech-based data or data which is in the form of numbers. So all these things we are going to talk about, right? So please do invite your friends also and on this channel and let them know about artificial intelligence. Tell them that yes, there is a channel which is going to teach us artificial intelligence, so they can come and join my channel. Thank you very much. This is it from my side. Hope you guys enjoyed this one a lot. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye and take care. Have a great day.